Okay, 12631's Chess and Wine here. I want to do a quick video giving you my year-end price target for the S&P 500, as well as quickly running through my portfolio holdings for you to just give you my thinking on things. And actually, right now you're looking at a daily chart of the Shanghai Composite Index, and as you know, if you look through the archives that I've been coined right around here, especially here, right here in September, I discussed the idea of Shanghai forming an inverted head and shoulders bottom, and if it breached this neckline 2700 to the upside, I gave a measured move target of just above 3,000, around 3,050. And at the time, right around here, many people were saying, "Oh, well, China's dead. There's no way they can keep up their growth rate." And I was making this call purely on technicals, and I wasn't just pulling the number 3,000. 3050 out of thin air. I wanted to give you my specific logic for it, and the idea is that you take the neckline here, and you take the distance from the neckline to the head, and then you add that distance to the neckline up above, and that's they call that a measured move target. And if you think about it, it's just basic psychology here. You have all this pent up demand here, and then but at the same time, even though this is acting as tough resistance, the bears are unable to make any kind of significant headway down to the downside. So on the right side of the shoulder here, you get this real compression. After a period of sharp volatility, you start to see a compression in the pattern. And the idea is that when you do see some explosion, it will be a violent explosion, because you have all this pent-up demand here of people who wanted to buy the breakout, but there just was not enough overall power until finally there is, and the neckline is breached to the upside. And that's how you get your measured move target that way. So I didn't just pull out of thin air. Now, looking at the S&P 500, to apply the same logic, you could argue over the summer we had a left shoulder here, or a double left shoulder, either way at 1040, a head at 1010, and a right shoulder at 1040. So that's your inverted head and shoulders bottom, and the neckline would have been right around here, 1130, which was tough resistance all summer, if you recall. So what you do is you take 1130 to the bottom is 1010. That's 120 S&P points, and you add that to 1130, and you arrive at 1250. So it's just the same logic that I applied for my Shanghai composite call. And obviously the Shanghai got there in a hurry, and we're kind of getting there in a hurry to 1250. But that would be just for whatever it's worth, my year-end target for the S&P, 1250. Now, Amazon is one of my holdings here. I have a full position in name. A little concerned by Friday's candle. Didn't like to see that big red candle climbing down through the 20-day moving average, although the selling volume really never got out of hand. Overall, this is still a market leader and a constructive stock. So I'm going to show a little bit of patience with it, and I expect this to be one of my, so long as the market holds up here, I expect Amazon to be one of those leaders into Christmas. But I'm not going to get married to it. I'm going to keep it on a pretty tight leash. Same with Baidu, full position here. Really just like the overall base. A shot up on an increase in volume, followed by another base. So similar to Amazon, I think Baidu is going to be one of those big market leaders that money managers simply are going to kind of clamor to own if they need to start to chase returns into year end, as so often happens. Especially Baidu being one of those big technology stocks. Dillard's, I have half position left after Friday's big spike up, as I discussed in a couple of posts I wrote about it. The name does have a low float and a huge short position. So the reason why I still have a half position left is I think there's a possibility for a further squeeze higher, although it's not something I'm going to really count on. I think if I see any weakness here, I'll just be very quick to ring the register and get out at this point. But overall, it's still it's a name I would definitely revisit in the future once it sets up again. Hillrom, I have a half position here. It's kind of dripped. It's one of these names I bought, and then it kind of just dripped up on me here. So I'm just letting it ride. But that's another name I'd be quick to take profits. If I sense that there might be kind of a shakeout there. Netflix, I have a full position in. Looks great. Charted tonight for one of my weekly setups. Looks great. I think, again, the volume pattern is bullish in a big, heavy short position. And finally, Select Comfort, full position in the name. Getting a little sloppy here, so I'm going to keep it on a tight leash, but it's still one of my favorite small cap plays.